All right, so let's just get into this. Let's start right away.
Let's get into it. Come on, let's throw the hands.
I got to back it up to the beginning. Chris Setaro called into question your hiring of Mark Dillon, your former gubernatorial campaign manager, to a city hall position. He did that on our show, and then you came on our show, and you said he needs to get his facts straight. He owes Mark an apology, and that he is borderline delusional. This is what Chris had to say about that. This is what Chris had to say. I know, yeah, he made us laugh too. This is what Chris had to say yesterday. Chris called into question Mark Boughton's hire of Mark Dillon, the council
of the city of Danbury hires his former campaign manager 3 months before an election, and he hires him onto his staff. Doesn't have a press conference, doesn't put out a press release, doesn't advise anybody that he's made this hire. There's change in his office. He's not obligated to do it, but if you don't do that, it gives the impression that this person, he didn't want people to know that he had hired him, right? And so it would have been far better, and this is what I said, to have disclosed it. Now, the mayor's saying that this is somebody who has a tremendous amount of local experience. Well, if you hire somebody with a tremendous amount of local experience, then you let people know, hey, we're making this great hire, right? But that's not how this was handled. And so, I think that people have a right to be concerned about hiring political people onto your staff just a few months before an election that's obviously hotly contested. And so it gives the impression that, there's not like a wall here between the mayor's office and somebody else's office in that suite that he has. So, if you hire your political staff onto your paid governmental staff and you don't announce it, I think you risk people perceiving that as doing political business on city time, or could have that risk.
Did it not appear anywhere? Or was there an article in one of the newspapers or e-editions about this?
There was a piece in the News Times about it right around the time that I came in and spoke to you last week, and it said in the article that it couldn't find the hire's name, the person's name, Mark Dillon, on any city website, and wasn't listed anywhere as an employee. And so it raised a question, and the headline was, campaign manager, new city employee. So, All
right, so we're going to stop it there because it's long. Later in the interview, I asked him if he does owe Mark Dillon an apology. He said he does not. So what do you think about what Chris had to say yesterday?
Well, Chris said it again. Mark Dillon is not the campaign manager for my run for re-election. He is a municipal employee who works in the suite of offices. And actually, there are walls. You should come look and see that once in a while. So, at the end of the day, when we hire a secretary and our assistant or an executive assistant, we don't do a press conference over it. Frankly, nobody cares. There are much bigger issues in the city to talk about. There are much bigger challenges that we face and much important things that we need to share with the community that are going really, really well. So, this is just tempest in a teapot. It's a nothing burger.
Yeah, and I'm frankly over it too. We've gone back and forth about this. You guys have both said your piece on both sides of this. In fairness, now I wanted to raise a question to you that I asked to Chris yesterday. You and I have spoken about this before. You know my feelings. I have a special needs sister. She had my parents had their challenges in the state of New York with the schools. Special needs parents are the greatest advocates for their children in the world. And it will never be enough. They will always need more. Danbury, I think, has a little bit of an issue. And my friend, frankly, straight out told me, who has a special needs child, he's moving out of Danbury. He thinks he can get better care for his child, a better education in another community. What do you think we can do to improve on that topic, special needs and education?
Yeah, just let me be clear. Look, the mayor is not the superintendent of schools, nor is he the Board of Education. We have a duly elected Board of Education that hires the superintendent of schools that makes $300,000 a year to determine, what kind of services to offer and how to offer them. We're required by federal law and state law to offer special needs services. You can't cut them or, not do them. We outplace about 200 students to special programs around the state, sometimes costing north of $100,000. Here's what happens when people talk negatively about the district, negatively about the city, that base their campaign on negativity and spend all their time bashing our schools. People think there's something wrong. And while we do have a lot of students, and we were going to manage that, and we've hired over 100 staff to be able to manage the amount of students we have, you can get all the best services you want in the city of Danbury. You don't have to move. Last year, we had 7 schools of distinction in the city of Danbury. The only other city or town or community in the entire state of Connecticut to have 7 was the town of Greenwich. So our staff are doing an incredible job. Certainly, everybody can always use more resources. We get that, but we have to balance that with what the needs and the capacity of the taxpayer is. What can that person afford who maybe is living on the poverty line or just below the poverty line? And so we think we do a good job at that. I'm proud of our schools, and I love my city. And frankly, I'm tired of people talking negatively about it. It's a great place, and by every measurement, it's a great place. Don't take my word for it. Take our bond rating agencies. Take the various organizations that rate communities for different services. They'll tell you the same thing. So, but when you talk negatively all the time about things, then yeah, people, like you say, the perception becomes, well, I can't get this service or that service. Even yesterday, we cut the ribbon on a brand new special needs playground. One of only 4 in the state of Connecticut. The only place that has it is Waterbury, Brookfield, and Ridgefield. That's it. And so, these are the things that we do that are above and beyond. And we've taken steps that other communities have. We have not taken steps that other communities have. We don't have pay-for-play sports. We have free sports for all of our children. We have after-school programming. So I think that the problem is, if you spend your time, talking negatively about the city or try to create a perception, then this is what happens.
Danbury Mayor Mark Boughton joining the show now. Now, from a personal standpoint, I have 3 boys in Danbury schools. Fantastic. Our experience has been fantastic with the education, and the school system is in constant contact with us in a lot of different ways, and I think that's a really important way that they've made us feel good about how things are going. And my oldest son in particular has performed at the highest level he ever has, and this is his first 2 years. This is his second year in Danbury schools. And he's just really excelling under their tutelage, to use that word, because I'm excited about tutelage.
Crushing it, in other words. Right?
Yeah. So while I asked the question about special needs, I wanted to make clear that I have had a great experience with Danbury schools. What else? I want to set the over-under number. So the other thing Chris has been critical about is the Crown Plaza debate, October 10th. He's saying basically that... I don't want to put words in his mouth. He's saying I know he's definitely saying there should be a free debate because this one costs money because it's at a banquet facility that's going to have food and drinks and stuff. He's saying that there's no free option. What do you think about that for people to come and watch the debate?
The Crown Plaza debate, they're live streaming it, so you can watch it in the middle of the night in your underwear in your bedroom, if that's your thing. So it'll be free to anybody who wants to go on a computer and watch the debate, and it'll be up on the web for people. In addition to that, we're also having a forum with the Board of Education that's free. We'll be in front of the Danbury firefighters. We'll be in front of the News Times. All those will be accessible and free and open to the public. So, there's a multiple amount of opportunities to hear both of our positions on whatever the issue of the moment might be. And you don't have to pay for it.
Look at that.
A quick question about that debate. Will there be yelling, screaming, and papers being thrown?
I'm going to fight the guy from the bagel video on Twitter.
Absolutely, you should.
And then we'll talk about the next one.
Okay. Well, you should do what I did when I did my speech before your speech in front of Uncle Sam with the slamming of the fists and the screaming like Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, you read one of Mussolini's old speeches. I know what you did.
Over under number on how many times Ethan Allou's show is mentioned in the first debate. Let's set that number at 3.
Over under.
I'll take the under.
I'll take the under as well. I think you will come up, though. I think that you are relevant and you are players in the discussion of this community.
We got to kind of wrap this up. We're excited that you're on.
Come on. Where are you going? Why?
We got stuff. We got
we're so late. We're almost into the next day.
I feel used.
No, I know. I'm ready for this to be over, frankly.
Yeah.
I just want to get...
Not our talk with you.
No, the election. Let's get going.
Can we do it now?
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
We're excited to see you at Hat City on Tap.
I am so excited, and my favorite is the orange soda beer. I mean, that stuff should be illegal.
There you go. Danbury Mayor Mark Boughton, always fun. Thank you.
Love you guys.